Welcome to Huddle Up,
Brought to you by the Field Total Group.
Jaguar senior writer John Oehser, NFL Network analyst and former Jaguar Bucky Brooks, and senior reporter J.P. Shadrick bring you the latest on your Jacksonville Jaguars. Huddle Up starts right now.
And welcome in. It's the first Huddle Up of the season. J.P. Shadrick with John Oehser. No Bucky Brooks today. He is out in Seattle for NFL Network. We'll get him a little later, of course, next week. We'll try again. It has his name on the show. He will be with us throughout this season, of course. Plenty going on, plenty to get to in today's show. The training camp dog days are here ahead of the preseason Week 1 game at the Dallas Cowboys coming up on Saturday at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Playing time, a question mark. And some answers today from Doug Peterson we'll hear coming up, and plenty to get to. Let's hear from the Jaguars head coach. He spoke with the media earlier today before the training camp practice here at the Miller Electric Center, and the question was about the playing time. He brought it up on NFL Network the other day, reiterated it this morning.
Yeah, I think it's important for them to play, to feel the, I think the excitement around a game. Don't plan on playing them long at all, but just want to get them in, get them out, and but yet still get some quality work in.
Full press conference for Doug Peterson available on Jaguars.com and the Jaguars YouTube channel. John Oehser, good afternoon.
Yeah, it's a misnamed show today. It's Huddle Up with. It's
with us.
And we mentioned the dog days. I think we're past it. I think the dog days were this last weekend, and now I feel like it's the home stretch of camp. And because of the new preseason schedule, new starting last year, this week feels game week-ish, and then I think next week will feel very game-like being in Detroit. So we're through it. I mean, it's one more open practice here and then up in Detroit. So dog days behind us.
As Doug Peterson just said there, I mean, he wants to see some guys on the field. You may not see some guys on the field very long, but they'll dress them out. They'll roll them out there. And if the offense, I think, John, if they have a good drive, if they get, they spread the ball around to some key pieces on offense, they get 6, 7, 8 plays and finish with some points, go over and drink some Gatorade.
Yeah, it feels like if it's a 3 and out, if it's a 1 first down on the first drive, then he'll play him again. If it's an extended drive where you feel like they got a touchdown, a field goal, as long as they got the situations they want to see, I'm sure Doug would like to see a 3rd and long, a 3rd and short, different stuff so that Trevor and the receivers can get his eyes on it. If there's something they wanted to get to, yes. I don't think there were times where I was covering the Colts. I used to cover the Colts.
Imagine that. I know it's been a long summer not doing shows, but I did not forget that. That
if they had 2 3 and outs, Peyton still wanted to go back. He wanted to get a good feeling out of that. And Dungy would say, no, you had your chance this time. That's what we're doing. I don't think they'll go more than 2 series. And it certainly sounds like the blueprint. You're going to see 10 to 12 good plays from the starters, as long as those starters aren't rookies. Anton Harrison's going to play deeper. I think you're going to want to see a good section of the rookie class, a good section of that group that we've been talking about when we say also. I think that also group's going to get deep into the 3rd quarter.
Well, that's coming up Saturday. There's one more practice tomorrow. I think they've got some work here on Friday before hopping on the plane Friday afternoon to head to Dallas. And, of course, the game is a Saturday afternoon at AT&T Stadium. Overall, this training camp for Trevor Lawrence, it's been fun to watch, actually. Him be able to spread it out to all these playmakers, and his knowledge at the line of scrimmage is much sharper, it feels like. He said that the other day as well, but he also said he certainly has the confidence in this scheme going into year number 2.
Yeah, I feel really comfortable. Feel really confident. Feel like that's me, but that's also the other guys. We've had so much experience together, and so many different situations we've seen. It's nice to be able to lean on those when you come out, for your second camp in this system, to lean on you can go back to week 14 last year and remember checking this play against this team and this coverage, and so the call comes up again and you see the same thing. It's like, all right, you remember when we did this, and you can just get to it quick. So I think that is that's so valuable when you think about an offense, and just being able to do that and get yourself in the play that you want. And as a quarterback, that I feel confident and I can just go play free because I know what I want, I know what I like, and I know what my guys are good at.
There was I forget which practice it was, but they ended their portion of the team down near the goal line, and he finished with a pass to the back left corner, touchdown to Zay Jones. Mm-hmm. I believe it was Sunday. But right before that play, he made a quick check at the line, and one little motion, Zay got it, and boom, it was wide open in that back left corner. That kind of adjustment at the line, it's not just him. Obviously, he needs to know it, but everybody around him needs to be on the same page as well. And you've got so many returning pieces, John, on this offense. Ridley's getting up to the speed as well, it feels like. They can just build upon that base of knowledge that they had from a season ago.
Yeah, let me let people in on a little secret. If an offense is good, it's supposed to look easy during training camp at times. Not all the time, but your overall impression is that it's easy because guess what? You can't hit the quarterback. When you're thudding, JP, thud practice. Thud hitting is when you come up and you make the play essentially, but then you don't tackle them to the ground. Yeah. Well, a lot of times those plays turn into what we all think are long yardage plays because they're not tackling. So overall, it's supposed to look better for the offense because of those situations, and it looks easy at times for this offense. Won't be as easy once it starts, but everything looks more comfortable for the kid, meaning Trevor Lawrence. Things are quicker. He's seeing it easier. He's getting in and out of plays more. He's completing more passes because he's got 4 receivers who are supposed to be able to beat double teams. And so he's got an open guy a lot. That's not an indictment on the Jaguars' defense. That shows you how this offense is going to be. And when you're not tackling to the ground, when you're not tackling, offensive football in training camp is supposed to be pretty good, and it's been pretty good so far.
I talked to Andre Cisco after practice today. I kind of asked him something like that. What's it like to defend these guys, and how has Trevor progressed, like seeing and looking you off? And it's a total night and day. Over the last couple of years for the quarterback, and then having to keep track of all these guys and where they're going and the way they run routes. He said he sees all these highlights on TV. It's like, our guys look better than some of these. It's highlights on TV, but he had glowing things to say about how the receivers run and how this offense can really get some.
They're a really hard team to cover, Jay. And right. It's all the stuff we talked about all off season: adding Ridley, adding Bigsby, adding Brenton Strange, even adding Garrett Prince, who we didn't talk about a lot in that vein. But it's clear to me that he is going to be a factor in that group. Every one of these guys can do things. Every one of these guys has skills they'll take advantage of. I don't necessarily like to predict greatness until we see greatness. But this has a chance as an offense with an ascending Trevor Lawrence, adding Ridley, and sort of knocking these other guys back down into different roles. And when I say that, Christian Kirk doesn't have to be a 1 this year. Mm-hmm. He can go do what he does really well a lot. Zay Jones, all of a sudden, this is a guy that probably won't see a whole lot of double teams. If I'm Zay, I'm doing a little dance in the corner going, yeah. Because, right. If you can't double team Zay Jones or Christian Kirk, look out. So there's an awful lot here that makes you think we could be on the verge of seeing something special. And until we see it, it's not there. But there's an awful lot. I think Brenton Strange, to me, is a guy nobody's talking about right now. Every day he makes a decent play. Mm-hmm. And that's all you need out of him is making decent plays. You don't need to be a superstar.
Because you got another tight end.
But if one more guy who can convert 3rd and 7, well, now you're adding those things up. It's going to be really interesting. And it could be really fun.
And the other part of this, too, yes, we're talking about the passing game, but if, all of a sudden they're bringing extra guys in the defensive backfield, to cover all these guys, they're going to hand the ball off. If it's a light box, ETN and Bigsby are licking their chops too.
Yeah, and
this offensive line.
We talked a lot when Bucky was. I remember Bucky. We talked a lot about this offense after the draft now being an offense that was going to look like a Peterson offense in Philadelphia. And what we meant by that was able to use a lot of different parts, able to have options in the backfield, options at receiver, multiple tight end looks. You get the idea that all the things we thought we'd see from a versatile Philadelphia offense, we're seeing come to fruition. Tank Bigsby and Travis Etienne maybe in the backfield at the same time, maybe not, splitting them wide. When Doug got here, Bucky talked a lot about everybody in the skill positions knowing all the other roles.
That's right. Yep.
That's how it's starting to look. And it's, again, it's going to be really, really interesting.
Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks is brought to you by Fields Auto Group Jacksonville. Step up to luxury. FieldsAuto.com. Plenty ahead. Defensive talk when we come back. We'll hear from Jaguars middle linebacker Foye Oluokun discussing the communication of the defense so far. If you're a Jags fan who's always on the move, we've got the perfect plan for you. With our bundle at the bank, you can purchase tickets to 3 or more games starting at just $58 per game. Get the flexibility you want for your time this fall and visit Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. This is Huddle Up with or without Bucky Brooks on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Are you ready to elevate your tailgate experience, Jaguars fans? Citrus Distillers, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, is excited to announce the 2023 Jaguars Limited Edition Whiskey Bottle. Now available at Total Wine and other participating retailers. Elevate your tailgate experience, Jaguars fans. The 2023 Jaguars Limited Edition Whiskey Bottle. Duval!
I like our communication right now. We still got a whole bunch of plays out there, but for us, it's about matching what we got so we can start expecting what they got. Being able to switch, wherever a blitz pattern or something, or switch a coverage or something, empty checks, weird look checks, being able to be on the same page. That's what's really important at this point of the season, and so we can all play faster when the real season starts.
That's Foye Oluokun, the Jaguars middle linebacker, the back-to-back leading tackler in the National Football League. Last year with the Falcons, 2 years ago, rather. And then last season, of course, with the Jaguars. Year 2 with the Jags for Foye coming up. And it's a defense as we welcome you back to Huddle Up without Bucky Brooks today. JP Shadrick, John Oehser. Bucky working NFL Network today in Seattle. We'll get him next week if the schedule works out. We'll be here at 4 o'clock each and every Wednesday. From here to eternity.
Well,
how about that? That's what we're
my
going to do.
eternity's coming up fast, JP.
So, all right, defense. And we've talked about this on different shows. I know you guys have probably touched on it on the Jags AM, which is a great new named program. But, there's not a lot of new frontline faces. They're counting on development. They're counting on continuity of this group and everybody taking a step. And that includes Oluokun, who's, as we said, back-to-back has led the league in tackles. But those young guys around him, Walker and Muma and Devin Lloyd, at some point, Josh Allen going back to form from his rookie year, right? I mean, this all has to work in unison as a group, and that's kind of what they're betting the farm on here.
Yeah, and I think the angst over the pass rush and what this defense wasn't last year has gotten lost a little bit. And people ask me, why didn't they go out and do more in free agency? Well, they were 4th in the league in takeaways last year and 12th in points allowed.
Yeah.
There's sort of a perception of when people talk that the Jaguars' offense is great and the defense is terrible. That's not accurate. This was a good defense in a lot of situations last year, and it struggled in some certain areas. But I go back, and I know you read the answer, JP. Somebody yesterday said, well, an argument can be made that the defense lost the game in Kansas City because Chad Henne went 98 yards. Well, the defense also had some really good series early in the third quarter, and the offense didn't go down and tie it. So, again, I think this offense is going to be great. But for a couple of series there, the defense did its job. In the NFL, they gave up 27 points in that game. I think Doug would be the first to tell you, we could have gone and gotten 30.
That's true.
We had been doing that.
Yep.
So this idea that the defense is this defense that finished 32nd in the league and it was just a sieve, I don't buy it. And you're bringing everybody back. You're in your second year under same defensive coordinator. Continuity is not as blindingly important on offense. People don't talk about it as much. But continuity on defense here, I think, will make a difference. I think they're going to be a good, solid defense against the run, which will get them in better pass rushing situations. And a team that finished 3rd in pressures last year, if they get a little better in the pass rush, if they get a few more leads and in better situations, I think the pass rushing, I don't expect them to be a 70-sack team like the Eagles were last year. But can you get better? Can you force some things? I don't think the defense is this tragedy that people tend to make it out to be. I think that's a little bit overblown right now.
Brinson Buckner told me the other day they had 29 missed sacks that they claimed. So you get 10, 15 of those. Right. Half of them.
Now, I don't know that they
tackling problem, not a rush problem is the way he phrased it.
I don't know that the 2 edge guys are 15-sack edge guys. Yeah. Maybe they are, but I think Josh Allen is very capable of getting double-digit sacks. I think Trayvon can get that number up to 8 or 9, something in there. But as a group, I do think this Jaguars defense can overall pressure the quarterback. You get something out of Roy Robertson-Harris. You get something out of, I think Foye is better. I just don't. I think the angst over this pass rush, to me, people say, well, why don't they go get a veteran pass rusher? I said all offseason, I don't sense that the people putting this thing together think that is as urgent or as much of a disaster as outsiders do. We'll see who's right.
By the way, I mean, Jaguars were 24th in the league in total defense, total yardage allowed per game. That's about 353 yards per game, right? To get in the top 10, they only need 29 less yards per game.
Yeah. And
it's a drive. Get off the field one extra time, and all of a sudden you're in the top 10 at least in yardage.
Right.
And the perception changes.
And the turnover thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes, there's some people who look at turnovers and say, well, you're not going to get that many every year. Or I wonder the pressures they got last year, and they were 3rd in the league in pressures. To me, most turnovers are created off of riotous moments or disruption, when you're getting the quarterback, when you're affecting things. It'll be interesting to see this year, were the turnovers sort of a one-year thing, or are they again a turnover-producing team? If you're a turnover-producing team in this league, that makes up for a lot of flaws elsewhere on defense. I think the pressures last year largely created a lot of those situations. They took advantage of it. The biggest turnover of the year, Josh Allen picking up the ball.
Week 18.
Going in, came off a blitz, came off good rush. So, again, I just think we're jumping the gun a little bit on this notion that they are a deficient front seven that can't affect the quarterback. I think they're a much more solid front seven than observers are thinking. I think that's become a narrative that I'm not sure adds up as much.
But it still is going to take that whole front seven as a unit doing it. Like you said, they don't have Von Miller on his own, you know?
No, but
those guys can get better on their own.
What I think they're looking at, and Doug alluded to this the other day, and it's interesting. Devon Hamilton, Roy Robertson Harris, and Foley Fatukasi, when you're talking about Foley, every time somebody talks about him, he's looking much, much better than he did going in. If those three guys and Foye in the middle, and I think their safeties are good, all of a sudden you're really strong up the middle. And if you're strong up the middle, then all of a sudden you're in a lot more 3rd and 8s. And there's a huge difference in the league between rushing the passer on 3rd and 4 and rushing on 3rd and 8. And I'm a broken record on it, but if you're leading late in games, your sack numbers go up because everybody's coming off and the quarterback has to hold the ball longer. It's just a different thing. They're having to throw further downfield, which gives you that half more second. I'd be surprised if the rest of this looks like you think, a good rushing team and an offense that's really good. I'd be surprised if the sack numbers for this team don't go up and people are happier with it.
Plenty ahead on the program, and Jags fans want customized Jaguars furniture for your home? Check out zipchair.com and browse all customizable options. ZipChair, furniture for fans. The Jaguars and the Cowboys coming up Saturday in Arlington, Texas. This is Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
Your hometown gate now has more ways to save. Introducing My Gate Rewards, a new loyalty program with member-exclusive savings and fuel discounts. Earn points on in-store purchases, take advantage of special offers, and save on products you love. Score free coffee, fountain drinks, pizza, and soft serve with Gates Frequent Shopper Clubs. Then use your points on savings at the pump. Download the My Gate Rewards app in the App Store today or ask a store associate for more information. Go from good to Gate.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Devon really showed up, last year. That's why he got the extension. We wanted to keep him around. He's one of the guys, one of the leaders on the team, on the defense, and he's a big, powerful guy. In there as the D lineman, and he can generate some push, and that's what you want in the middle of your pocket, right? And he's really a good run defender, and so all those things we've seen the same things this camp with him when the pads are on, and his physicality and what he brings to that D line.
That's head coach Doug Peterson discussing Devon Hamilton, Jaguars defensive lineman. We just touched on him a moment ago. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, or without Bucky Brooks today. He'll be back with us hopefully next week. He's out in Seattle.
Let's make a new graphic. Let's just see Huddle Up without Bucky Brooks. It'll be edgy. Nobody will quite know what to expect, so I think we're there.
We're going to work on the schedule with him, but we'll be here at 4 o'clock each Wednesday. But it is training camp. It's that time of year. Bucky's all over the league, so of course he will be with the team in Dallas as the television analyst on the preseason TV games. So you'll see Bucky very, very soon. Speaking of Devon Hamilton, he talked about the extension there. Doug Peterson, 3 years, $34.5 million reportedly, including $10 million signing bonus, $20 million guaranteed. For the big fella up front who played well, obviously, last year. And, I was talking to Buckner said this to me the other day, the interviews on the official Jaguars podcast network. He's dropped a little weight. He used to be a little bit just heavier, and he's not a fat guy, right? He's just a big body in the middle and can move too. And the first week or so of the one-on-ones, Jeff Lageman really was like, man, he's been the most consistent of the pass rush types in the interior. Yeah, and I think Jeff be the first to tell you, probably he didn't expect that his first year. I mean, I'm talking to Logs, and not necessarily blown away by Devon's ability to penetrate. Yeah. And I think it speaks to what we talk about a lot. People always want to assume that players come into the league and what they are in their first 8 games is what they are as a player, and he was a bust and he was not a good player. Well, Devon Hamilton's a perfect example. I don't think you necessarily thought after his rookie year or 8 games in that this was going to be a guy you re-signed. But guess what? In the NFL, linemen especially, there's big human beings who get bigger, stronger, better able to use what their skill set is as they grow and develop. And Devon's a perfect example of a guy who, by the time he reached that time for a second contract, he was a guy that this team absolutely thought they needed. And think about what they did, JP, in the offseason. Roy Robertson-Harris, re-sign him, developing a core. Devon Hamilton the same way. They have veteran guys now, and Fodikasi didn't come from here, but same deal. Yep. They're 3 linemen. There's money in those guys, and there's a lot of stoutness. They believe there's a lot of skill there, especially with Devon and Roy ascending, still getting better. I think that's the core of their defense. That's where they feel like they have a real strength that if teams are running the ball effectively on this team, then I think there's something wrong because they are designed to stop that and get to passing situations. The start of the NFL season is just around the corner, and we can't wait for you to be back at the bank. The Jags host the Miami Dolphins Saturday, August 26th in the preseason finale. Lock in your seats. Call 904-633-2000 or visit jaguars.com/tickets. Final thoughts when we come back and a preview of the hunt. This is Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
Are you ready to elevate your tailgate experience, Jaguars fans? Citrus Distillers, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, is excited to announce the 2023 Jaguars Limited Edition Whiskey Bottle. Now available at Total Wine and other participating retailers. Elevate your tailgate experience, Jaguars fans. The 2023 Jaguars Limited Edition Whiskey Bottle. Duval!
Your hometown gate now has more ways to save. Introducing My Gate Rewards, a new loyalty program with member-exclusive savings and fuel discounts. Earn points on in-store purchases, take advantage of special offers, and save on products you love. Score free coffee, fountain drinks, pizza, and soft serve with Gate's frequent shopper clubs. Then use your points on savings at the pump. Download the My Gate Rewards app in the App Store today or ask a store associate for more information. Go from good to Gate.
I'm right here? Yep. So what is this for again?
This is for
The hunt,
like our
that's right.
all-season,
Yeah.
all season, year-long series.
you have it. The hunt coming up tomorrow. And it'll be here all season long. Access you won't find anywhere else to your Jacksonville Jaguars. It should be fun.
Yeah. I did a great job with it, and it's developed over the last couple of years into something that really gives fans a real feel for what's going on around here. That's cool.
Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks is brought to you by Fields Auto Group Jacksonville. Step up to luxury. FieldsAuto.com. So, the Jaguars and the Cowboys coming up Saturday, 5 o'clock Eastern Time kickoff. We'll go on the air on Jaguars Radio at 2 o'clock with the Publix Tailgate Show. And then it's countdown to kickoff at 4 o'clock before the 5:07, I think, official kickoff time.
That's no man's land, man.
Right?
I hate 8 o'clock starts, but 5 o'clock starts are just messy. And give me a 1 o'clock start in the preseason, get me home.
Well, I think the Lions game is early, right? Like it's a 1 o'clock.
It's 1 o'clock, which is good. So, and the Cowboys will be laying in wait because they won't like that little beating the Jaguars put on them in that 21 preseason.
They'll forget. Game. Is that how it works?
That was the highlight of those first 2 months, JP.
I love it. So the starters are going to go a drive or two, depending on how it goes. And how about the defense? Would you want to see them a little longer? Does it matter to you? Now's
really.
Not the time, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Let them make a few calls, but don't risk anything right now. I mean, you've gotten through this so far without anything that seems like it's going to linger. Stick to your plan. I'm sure it'll be the same thing with about 2 series, and then let's see the young guys. It's their time.
Oehser, your writing's been fantastic, by the way, on Jaguars.com. Finally.
Every once in a while, I throw shot a bone.
I'm sure he appreciates it.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
We all do, too. Check out his writing on Jaguars.com. All the camp coverage throughout, all our videos on the Jaguars YouTube channel, of course, and the podcast on the official Jaguars Podcast Network. Our thanks to Joe Fortunato on the audio, Brent Reber on the video side today. For John Oehser, I'm JP Shadrick. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you next Wednesday with another edition of Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, brought to you by the Fields Auto Group.